Hello there, and welcome to Women's Business.
My name is Dr. Marianne Shallcross Smith, known to most as Dr. Daycare, and this is my co-host, Amy Vogel. We'd like to welcome you to our mentoring program designed to educate our community on issues facing working women. We will be speaking to our guests in the areas art, sciences, health, education, law, medicine, politics, community service, military, and business.
The goal of the show is to provide information that comes only from personal experience and to pass this information down to our daughters, nieces, neighbors, family, and friends. Much of the content will relate to the guest speaker's journey in their profession, what they have learned most about this process, and what they wished they had known before this journey began. Since women-owned businesses are the fastest growing sector of our economy, my guests will close with what lesson they would like to pass on to the viewing audience.
Hello, thank you for joining us on Women's Business. We are honored to welcome Christine Gallo from Polka Dot Powerhouse. What is Polka Dot Powerhouse? I love the name.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I
Of
really
course,
appreciate your time.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So the Polka Dot Powerhouse, it's a women's connection company. I launched the chapter in February of this year, but we're actually part of an international group. We have
You are.
about 70 chapters worldwide.
Oh, wow.
We have members from Australia, from Iceland, from Canada. There's
wow.
about 2,700 women that are part of the Polka Dot Powerhouse. So the chapter that we launched in Rhode Island is the fifth one that launched in New England.
Oh.
But we're continuing to grow and expand. So even if there are women that don't have a local chapter in their area, there's constantly new chapters popping up everywhere. It was a company that I actually found quite by accident last summer. I was an elementary school teacher for 15 years.
What grade?
I taught first and second grade.
Oh, really
sweet.
childhood. Love
Yes,
it, love it.
yeah. And it was, it had gotten to the point in my life that I was looking for, I needed to transition to something different. I have two boys at home. I have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old.
You see?
And I kind of was realizing that at the end of the day, my own children are getting the leftover version of their mom. And so I just wanted to try something a little bit different, but I knew that I loved being with people. I loved connecting people. So I had been involved, I have a networking business that I had worked with quite part-time for a couple of years. So one of my friends had introduced me to, she was going to check out a Polka Dot Powerhouse meeting, so I decided to go ahead with her. Not sure what I was walking into at all, and I walked into a room, it was 35 women. The meeting that I had gone to was in Framingham, Mass, in Metro West. So it was about an hour drive away. I walked into the meeting and I just saw so many women just relax. I'm a yoga instructor as well, so I noticed body language and I noticed energy, and everybody just, they looked calm and friendly and welcoming. And I had these people that I've never met before coming up to me, introducing themselves, just wanting to know who I was, not what I did, who I was.
Wow.
And it was such a wonderful feeling. So the only downfall was that it was in Framingham.
Yes.
So that's a bit of a ride. We are a connection company, so obviously we connect with people outside of our meetings. So I had connected with a woman that I had met at the meeting, and she said, why don't you consider opening a chapter in Rhode Island? Now, I had been a teacher for nearly 17 years, so I didn't quite view myself as a businesswoman. So my first thought is, oh, I can't do that. I'm a teacher. I don't do that. And she gently reminded me that I was in a transitional period of my life, and the meeting that I had really drawn a connection with her, we have a celebration part of our meeting, so I had stood up at the celebration time and I said, I guess I'm celebrating the fact that I have no idea what the rest of my life is going to look like because I just left my career. And
Big decision.
so she had kind of started to get me to think about the process. So I looked into the job qualifications and it said positive, optimistic, like connecting people, liked people. So I'm like, well, I meet those qualifications. And
Yes, you do.
You're checking all the boxes. It's going well.
And then I went through the process, and the interview process was quite intense. It was actually 5 interviews. It took me, it was about a 2 to 3 months process. I did a personality assessment, a strengths analysis, because they really want to make sure that if
You're a
someone
fit.
is a fit in that we're committed to the process. So when we open a chapter in an area, it's going to be there for a long time.
They don't want it to go
time.
defunct.
Absolutely.
They want to make sure it's going to continue on.
So
That was a great
I
idea
was
if they did
approved in November to launch my
Congratulations.
chapter. Thank you. And it has just been so much fun. So our first launch, our first meeting was in February. And because we are the first chapter in Rhode Island, the founder of the company actually came in from Wisconsin to be our guest speaker at our meeting.
I know, many Wisconsin. My husband is from Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
And then the guest we just had on, her husband is from Wisconsin. Her kids live, which is funny.
Oh, wow.
A lot of Wisconsin today.
Like, I never heard of Wisconsin until you married Wisconsin.
No,
it's everywhere.
So that's great that I came from Wisconsin. It's a great state.
Great state, very friendly people, and that's
we love
actually
it because we love Andy, so we love Wisconsin.
that's where the Polka Dot Powerhouse started in
Really?
Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah,
That's-
Whereabouts, do you know? Or?
in Eau Claire.
That's where her husband was from.
Oh,
Yeah,
funny.
that's what she said.
So the founder, her name is Shannon Crotty. It started with just
Shannon.
one chapter, and then it just branched out from there. And
That's amazing.
yeah. So our meetings are a combination of celebration, collaboration. We help women we encourage them, we empower them, we inspire them to live their best lives. And
So is it all like the emotional piece of them, or is it like it's like networking? Like I belonged to this group way back when called B&I. So you sat at the table, men and women, and then we talked about how we can help them increase their business. Is it that type of it, or is it more?
it's a combination
Oh, so
of
it's a combination. Okay.
personal and professional.
Nice.
So basically, whatever you want to get out of that meeting, you're going to get out of it. So
Yes,
if you're
I get that.
looking to increase any type of positive connections in your life, if you're looking for one of our members is new to the area and it's hard as an
Networking.
adult to
Yeah. Get to know your
meet
neighbors.
friends.
Yes.
Absolutely. So she initially started to come to the meeting because she didn't really know anybody
Anyone.
in the area. So like I said, it's a combination of professional and personal. We have stay-at-home moms, we have retired women, we have women that are part of corporate America, women that are in direct sales. So it's a nice mix of everything.
Sounds like a wonderful mix.
It
Absolutely,
really is a lot
yeah.
of fun. And each month we feature a different guest speaker. So actually our meeting is the last Tuesday every month. So today we have our 2 dot connects. There's a lunchtime one and a dinner one. And our meeting this month, she's going to be speaking about money mindset and women and their limiting beliefs regarding money.
Wow,
And
that could go on for the next 10 meetings.
That's amazing.
so we really try to bring a lot to the meetings
Yeah.
that are going to help enhance your life and just help you live your best life anyway.
Bryant College every year has a women's summit. I don't know if you've ever attended. It's
I
fantastic.
haven't.
I've
It is
been
great.
presented once, and it's amazing the amount of women that come and the guest speakers they have. And I did not go to the last one, but a lot of my colleagues did, and I've heard this from everyone about money. One woman had got up and said, one of the guest speakers, "Do not buy shoes, ladies, buy land." And it makes sense. Go in your closet.
estate is
real
much-
estate is what they said. Buy real estate. Forget the shoes.
Real estate will appreciate your
You
shoes.
can't
Will.
exactly. And they would come back telling me all about it, and that has like stuck in my brain. Yeah, like buy real estate, no shoes, because everyone's got more shoes than they know what to do with. Spent hundreds of dollars on them, and it's like, okay, take that money and transform it into like land and real estate. So
Yeah, and sometimes
Women's
you just
got-
hear a different way of
it's a
thinking
way
about
of-
something.
something you
Like,
can
oh,
connect, you know.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Women, including myself, really need those lessons. They really do. And how much money you can or cannot make, and how you just don't even invest it when you're too busy working. It's amazing.
And how you accidentally are self-sabotaging in ways that you don't even realize that you
completely.
are.
Yes. Yeah. Like, come on, money. I'm not a problem anymore. Talked to me 20 years ago. I'm like, oh, well, you know, it's all a mindset, isn't it?
Absolutely. And
Truly
we always
is.
have a variety of speakers. Our speaker 2 months ago spoke to self-care and why women are worthy of putting themselves at the top of their to-do
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
And why it's important that we are taking care of
Yeah.
ourselves. So we bring a variety of speakers speaking
a
about topics that are
Good
relevant to
array.
everybody.
Very good array, really.
And how long are the meetings?
The meetings are 2 hours long,
Okay.
and we follow a specific agenda. So the beauty of it is that once you're a dot, we call our members dots, you can attend any meeting anywhere throughout the country. So if you're traveling, for example, to Denver or to California, you can attend a dot meeting.
Oh, wow.
And we actually there's a chapter in Norwich, and there is one in Framingham, Mass, and another one in Northern Mass.
Okay.
So we have people that come to visit our meetings we call them our visiting sisters, and they just come. And you know that at every meeting you're going to be connecting with like-minded women, positive women. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is that we're drama-free. We say that no drama llamas here. Leave your drama at the door.
That's very smart.
So you'll never hear us speaking negatively about other dots, other members, other networking groups, other business, and we value collaboration over competition. So we're non-exclusive. We can have multiple people from the same industry together in the same room because we believe that we can all rise together and we
can learn together.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes when you're in the same industry, you might have an issue going on. You speak to that person, and they might give you a solution you never thought about.
Exactly.
I think collaboration is huge. I feel a lot of times we can live in a very competitive world. We're competing with each other, trying to be. Well, sometimes we just got together. It might be synergetic. Like 1 + 1 = 3.
Right.
Versus 2.
Yeah.
So.
And we believe in the law of abundance. We believe that there is enough business for everybody, so we don't have to compete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No competition. Just get out there and do it. Just believe that will happen. Yeah.
So how did you? So you, a woman came to you from Framingham. They talked to you about starting your own chapter. Did it cost you a lot of money to start your own chapter? Like, how does it? Like, do you mean like, is it a business or is it?
I do get it because I am the managing director. I do receive a small stipend for when my membership is growing. But there's constant training that I'm putting into it, and I put a lot into planning the meetings and organizing the meetings.
It's like being a teacher.
It is.
To adults.
It is.
Actually, those first graders are real easy.
And actually, my training as a teacher has lent itself.
Totally.
I mean, I think the skills that you have when
Skill
you're an
set
educator, they apply to everything.
Skill set,
So women are costed. It's very minimal to join our connection company. It's usually $249 for the year, but you can access any meeting that you want to go to. And you can just, some people come to our meetings and they just enjoy those 2 hours out of their life to be around positivity. Quite frankly, sometimes that's all you can really, that's all the time that you have. But other people, we like to connect with one another outside of our meetings. Some people connect with people in different chapters, but we have a huge online presence too.
Oh, you do?
So we're connecting with people all over the country. So I was actually in the networking marketing business that I'm in. I was able to connect with an industry leader in my company someone that I never would have really connected with. And she and I have bonded and formed this great relationship.
That is
so
amazing.
It's amazing just all the connections that you're making and how one is leading to another. And
do you find trying to find speakers can be difficult, or?
No,
That's
it's
great.
amazing because it's such a safe space. It's a place that you can show up and you can be vulnerable. You show up as you are. So a lot of women that are looking for speaking opportunities that might not be ready to stand in front of a room of 300 people, they know that they can come out there and they can try. Our speakers speak for 20 to 30 minutes. So anybody that's looking for a speaking opportunity, this is a great way for them to get started because they know they're going to be safe. They know they're going to be supported.
A great stepping stone.
It's a great stepping stone. And everybody brings value. Everybody has something to offer, and to be able to provide that space to let women know that you can bring this, you can show up.
Now, how many members? Is there a max amount of members you put in a chapter, or?
Nope. Basically, we want to keep our meetings pretty intimate, so around 30 to 35 is how many we want in a room. We actually, our February meeting and our March meeting, we started out with just dinner time meetings, but we had a waiting list for both meetings, for both our February and our March meetings. So I had asked if we could add a lunchtime option. So now our members can either choose from a lunchtime or dinner, and we have the same speaker that speaks at both.
Oh, nice.
And so right now we have about 20 women that come to lunch and about 30 women that come to dinner.
You're growing quickly.
Just in Rhode Island?
Just in Rhode Island,
That's
We have
amazing.
some people that
months
come
old,
in from Massachusetts.
But that's.
Yeah.
And do you feed them?
Oh yes, yes.
I really like food, so I just wondering.
Food is very important. Yes. So there is a meal.
Nice.
It's $20, and that's all inclusive. Your meal, and then you get your coffee with it, and
That's great.
tax and tip and everything.
Oh, that
And
is
the partnership that we have with the Harmony Lodge. I can't say enough about them. They've been so accommodating, and
It's nice when people really stop and hesitate and do things for like people to come together, like a group of women.
Yeah.
How many was willing to do that for you? That's amazing.
Yeah.
It does help a lot, and
It
it becomes
does.
affordable. And it's also good marketing for them, which is great too. But
And the
at least
space
you
that
found
they
some
have
place to
is
do it.
beautiful. And I mean, I don't know if either of you have been
Oh
there.
yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
But the space that they have, it's beautiful
It's
for
nice.
like bridal showers, baby showers, any type of functions.
That's
it's a
amazing.
really
Yeah.
nice. And where they are, I think a lot of people miss them because often they don't go past the Smithfield area or they don't go. So where the Harmony Lodge is, it's easy to
Being
to
a Rhode
miss it.
Islander, you understand this. I'm from Northern Rhode Island. If someone's like, go to Warwick, I'm like, oh, I really have to go south of Providence right now. So no, I get that. Now, is there a national conference for this? Like, so
There
everyone can kind of.
is, yes. So we just had our Sisterhood Summit in Hartford. So they do
Oh,
three.
that's not that far.
Nope, they do 3 Sisterhood Summits regional. So we had the Hartford one for the East Coast, but they do have a national celebration that's going to be the first weekend of October, and that's going to be in San Francisco, where all the
nice
adults
place.
can come
Nice place.
together.
Nice area to have it. That is
yeah.
great. Are you going?
Oh, absolutely.
That's-
absolutely.
I can tell you are definitely into this. This is
Oh,
what,
I
you're a
love
great
it.
leader, and your energy is going to come forward to the group, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you. It's been, we have, when dots are interviewing to become managing directors, part of the interview process is you have to reach out to managing directors. And one of the questions that I've been asked is, what is my favorite part of it? And honestly, my favorite part is sitting back and watching women make these connections
Yeah.
that they never would have. We had, at one of our meetings, we had 3 published authors in the room.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
And a woman came up to me after the meeting and she's like, I've always wanted to write a book, and I never thought that that was
was
something that I
possible.
really would do, but sitting in the room with 3 published authors,
And
she
it
knew.
gives you energy to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just need that help to make the first step.
Exactly.
Because I think we always think of the end result and not the process.
Yeah.
And sometimes that process isn't as daunting as we think getting there is.
Yeah.
Just one step at a time, one day at a time, one thing at a time. Not
About 2 months ago, I downloaded this off the internet. It says, "What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?" And it's like just that opened your whole space up. Just do it, ladies. Just do it.
Yeah.
Whether it happens or not, just do it. So the energy that's with all the women in that room probably gives them the
confidence.
confidence and support to do it.
And I knew it was my environment when I stood up and I had left my teaching career.
That's a big choice. after
And
15
every
years.
single woman in the room, they started clapping for me and cheering, and nobody gave me that. Are you crazy?
Well,
You
yeah,
just
what's the
walked
matter with
away.
you?
And
You
Just
just
walked away from
take
your
it.
salary? Like, what's going on?
These
They were
women
happy
that
for you.
they were happy for me, and they're like, you chose yourself, you chose your family, and not enough people do that. And
yeah.
they were encouraging, and what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I was still at the point, like, I don't know what I want to do. I just want to be happy because when I
Do
left,
we ever really know what we want to do?
no,
It just
and
kind of happens to you, really.
yeah, and one of them, actually the same one that encouraged me to start my chapter, I love obviously children, so she encouraged me to start a children's yoga business. So I'm actually a traveling children's yoga
that is so
instructor, and
nice.
so all these things that I hadn't realized were totally meant for me through my connections with the dots. I realized that there's more to what I thought my life needed to be for the next.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're just as busy as you were when you were teaching. But you kind of have some control over your schedule now.
I do. I'm
which is-
putting my boys on the bus.
Yes.
Everything is
Yes.
just blending in,
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm very mindful of when it's family time, and the devices are away, and I'm focused on my family. When it's work time, I'm working, and when it's me time, I need that me time.
Oh, 100%.
And it's all about me during
Yeah.
that time. And
That's great. That was a huge step, but such a rewarding one for you.
and it's really strange to think at this point last year in my teaching career, I hadn't even decided to leave yet.
Wow.
It was,
What a year.
Memorial, really?
yeah, it was the beginning of May that I thought, okay, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
And then it was probably in June that I decided that,
Yeah, we're done.
okay, it's time to go now.
Now, into Polka
Yeah.
Dot Powerhouse, how'd they get that name? Do you have any idea? 'Cause I'm a polka dot person. I love polka dots.
They do. It's a really sweet story. So the founder, Shannon Crotty, her sister had passed away.
Okay.
And the name Polka Dot Powerhouse kind of came to Shannon when she was driving one day, and she was just thinking about her sister, looking for a sign, and that word just kind of came to her, and she felt like it was a message from her sister, and she didn't know what she was going to do with the word, but she knew that she needed to do something with the word Polka Dot Powerhouse. So,
That's amazing.
and what Shannon always says is that every new dot that comes in was a friend of her sister's or a sister.
That's amazing.
It's a very nice way she's moved that, absolutely, and people can visualize that and feel that.
Absolutely.
That's really neat. Wow.
Yeah.
Talented woman, very talented woman.
Now, you've done a lot. Did you have a mentor to help you along your way?
It was, well, definitely my grandmother was someone that always inspired me. She was a nurse, she was a hard worker, just a nurturer. She cared about everybody. So she's always inspired me and mentored me to give of myself and to care about people. And when you're giving of yourself and you're caring about others, it makes you feel good. And so that's something that I always admired about my grandmother. I mean, she never had an unkind word to say about anybody, and she would always just give of herself so much.
That's amazing.
My dad, he was always a very hard worker. He was a mechanic, and he unexpectedly got laid off, and at a time in his life where he had teenagers thinking about college, and so he needed to reinvent himself. So he actually started a business on his own, and he opened an auto repair shop on his own.
That's
and
amazing.
yeah, so I've always been surrounded by people that have dreamed bigger
And have go-to attitudes.
and have go-to attitudes,
Like, let's,
and
let's not sit back and wait for it to
No.
happen. Let's go make it happen.
and that service mentality that we want to help others, and
That's amazing, yeah. Because you don't, I'm sure for your dad at that time, it was probably the worst thing that could have happened to him, and then he made lemonade out of lemons, which is amazing.
And now being a parent myself, I can't imagine how a parent felt at that time, knowing that he had 3
Devastated.
children to provide for, and what he had as his livelihood wasn't
Especially
there.
back then, a lot more men had a lot more pressure on them.
Yeah.
Say. Now it's kind of evened off a bit, where you can kind of count on the partner or the other spouse. But back in those days, like it was really just so much pressure on men. I'm kind of glad that it's taken a little bit of pressure off of them, you know. So your father was pretty cool to be able to go and do that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it just showed me that you can make it
can
work
do it,
when you
yes, you can
know
make
that
it
you
work,
need to make it work. You can make it work.
So how do you balance it all? I'm impressed. How do you do that?
I'm really careful to schedule and to time block. So like I said, when I'm doing my work time, it's my work time, and my family time is my family time. So I'm not as good as writing down in my calendar, but I keep really good track of my mental calendar.
That's
what I
amazing.
need
I
to
can't
do.
remember what I did yesterday, so I'm very impressed by that.
Originally, when I was trying to think about how I'm going to be balancing all my 3 businesses, I was thinking, do I do a day for everything? But what I find for me works best is if I have like a couple of hours each day where I'm devoting to this. This is my polka dot time, and this is my yoga business time, and my networking business time. And then when my family's home, it's all about the family. And even if it's just 10 minutes, like last night I sat down with the boys and we played Uno for 10 minutes. And I was 100% into that Uno game for that 10 minutes. And then I went and I did the dishes and the laundry and everything else that I have to do. But they had their full mommy time for that 10 minutes.
That's a beautiful piece you bring up. Once you're in it with your family or whoever you're in it with, be in it. I like that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many distractions.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? How you doing? I got to put the milk in the refrigerator. It's on the counter. You know, you've got to tie your shoes. I mean, there's a million things.
And then
you can
electronics
get
just add a
electronics
whole
are buzzing
nother-
away.
Right,
So
right.
you're in it when you're playing that Uno game. You are in that Uno game. That's great discipline. Not really. I'm going to try and take that one.
Yeah.
It's a very good
luck.
idea. I'm going to try. I said try.
Well, I just feel like today's world, we're always connected.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That it becomes a habit of being connected.
Yeah. It
Even when you don't want to be, you're just naturally in the connection. And I've even said to myself, maybe I shouldn't bring my phone places. But then I'm like, what if something happens and I need my phone?
Yeah.
But back when I got my license, I didn't have a phone. Like,
No.
You just went to a payphone with whatever it was, 15, 25 cents, and you made it work.
But it's just because it's such a habit that your phone is by you all the time, and then just unconsciously you're scrolling through
Always.
Instagram or checking, and
like mindlessly.
Yes.
I will forget sometimes what I even saw because it's just mindless,
Right.
completely mindless.
right.
And it's an amazing tool. I saw an advertisement in a magazine not that long ago. They had like the big boom thing on the shoulder. They had the headpiece on, you know what I'm saying? They had this, they had people carrying it, and they showed like a smartphone. So all that is all in one phone. Technology is amazing, and we have certainly many of us are bought into it. But I like your Uno thing. I'm going to keep the picture Uno when I'm into stuff too, especially with the grandkids.
And
like being all at the same time.
And going back to the connection piece, I think a lot of people, they're so used to being connected online.
Yes.
And you think you're connected to, you have all these people and you have all these friends, but what's really lost is the actual physical one-on-one time where you're looking at someone, you're sharing space with someone.
You're actually conversing.
Yes.
You're actually like talking versus
And that's what I love
texting,
about the Polka Dot Powerhouse is that we have that time where we're together, that we're all together.
Now, are electronics allowed in the meetings or no?
Well, we do have, there's no rule saying that they're not allowed, and we do have some of our members, for example, are real estate agents, and right now the market is very hot.
Very well.
So what I have those members do is if you need to have your phone with you, when you're coming around introducing yourself, just put out the disclaimer saying, you know, I have a job that's going through and I might have to step away and take care of this. So you're respecting your job, your livelihood, but you're letting everybody know that, no, I'm not just on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not just seeing what's going on with people and liking statuses.
Yeah, but the meetings are so engaging and they're so interactive that I find that people they're just sitting there with big smiles on their face and they're just really enjoying themselves and really taking advantage of that time that they have to just be there and enjoy themselves.
You started in time in 2018 when it's really shifting into the women's world, which is fantastic. So women have been given a lot of permission in every level to get out there and be who they want to be, the best of who they want to be. So an organization like Polka Dot Powerhouse gives women something they can network with. So it's really good timing. Very, very good timing.
And I like how it focuses on both personal and professional growth, or what you need, which is, I think, a lot of networking groups are very business oriented, very professional oriented. It's not, and we're a whole person. We're not just. I'm not just an employee worker. I am a mom, a wife. I'm a double. So it's nice that you work on the whole person.
Yes.
Now, if someone wanted to join, how would they get in touch with you? Do you have a phone number you can pass on?
Yeah, my number is 508-735-4187. I do live in Rhode Island, but I am a Mass girl, so I still have my Massachusetts.
You went right over the border.
Or you can go to the polkadotpowerhouse.com and search for our chapter in Rhode Island. And the chapter is called Blackstone Valley because I want it to be welcoming to everybody in the Blackstone Valley, including people that are in Massachusetts, because they don't have a chapter right now in the Blackstone Valley in Massachusetts.
That's great.
So we're the Blackstone Valley chapter of the Polka Dot Powerhouse. We're the only one in Rhode Island, so you can find us easily.
You're the first in Rhode Island. I happened to catch you in a magazine, so it's fantastic. So you're doing fantastic marketing to get out there for being such a young organization. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Want to say hello to those boys? There's two sons. They want to hear their boys. They want to hear their name.
Hi, Ever. Hi, Jasper.
Not about moms.
They were very excited. My little one was very excited to know I was going to be on today.
TV. Well,
that's now he's going to hear his name on TV. He's going to be.
His concern was we don't have cable, so how is he going to be able to see this?
That is so cute. I love
We'll
that.
figure it out.
We'll get you a DVD. Don't worry.
Yeah, Rebecca's going to send you a DVD. Very good point, Amy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Christine,
I enjoyed
great
it.
show, and congratulations on starting the first chapter in Rhode Island.
Thank you. Thank
Polka
you very
Dot
much.
Powerhouse. Great name.